Well, I'm not sure who's behind it because it could be anyone in the world. However, Facebook is millions and millions of lines of computer code, so the chances that somebody could find a security flaw in the code is not surprising. It happens all the time. I believe that Facebook has patched the vulnerability, but that's not to say that some other smart attacker could figure out a new way to do the same thing.
In the days and the hours after a security flaw like this is announced, after it is patched, what does the hacking community, what's the reaction of the hacking community in terms of trying to go in and exploit other potential flaws? Hey, I saw that hacker. He got into the view as function and hacked that. What does that inspire other hackers to do?
Well, they might be interested in taking a look to see if there's other flaws they could exploit. I believe that Facebook has what they call a bug bounty, and what that means is they allow third parties to try to hack their site and find vulnerabilities and report it. And if Facebook is happy with what the hacker found, they'll pay them a reward, money. Another thing Facebook should obviously do is have their internal teams assess the code, the code that the website has developed, and make sure that they limit the amount of vulnerabilities that might be obviously in the Facebook website. But also they should have a third-party company actually test their site to make sure that it's not that a hacking group cannot easily bypass their security.
You know what interests me, Kevin, in these reports of hacking of vast numbers of individuals' accounts, 50, 60 million here, 120 million in the case of credit bureaus, whatever the heck it is. Do we have a good sense about how many of the people whose information has been hacked are actually in some future way wounded, injured, hurt by the fact that their data may have been compromised? In other words, do they lose money? What happens?
Well, ordinarily, the bad guys might sell the data, like from Equifax, for example, on the dark web, and eventually those individuals will be defrauded. I don't know if there's a particular statistic of how many, for example, Equifax members were actually defrauded because of the compromise. But I can tell you one thing. There's a website called WeLeakInfo.com, and on this website they have hundreds of databases of leaked passwords that were publicized on the dark web, for example. And what people could do is actually search their own username, their own email account, and actually identify whether their information was leaked. And that's important because people tend to reuse passwords.
WeLeakInfo.com? What is it?
Yeah, WeLeakInfo.com.
Melissa's already on it.
I believe you could do some, right. And what you could see is if your password was leaked in some sort of database breach. And what the problem is people tend to reuse passwords. So, or they have a pattern that they always use that it's easy for the hacker to figure out.
Sure.
So it's really important, to use a password manager, for example, but also to check WeLeakInfo.com, and there's others out there, of course, to see if your information is out there for the bad guy.